All right, guys. You know, Jubilee usually does these stupid surround things where it's like, I don't know, like guys trying to date girls or rating girls and like ordering them on a scale of 1 to 10 or something. But this time on July 20th, they did something that I thought was pretty interesting. One progressive, that's Mehdi Hasan, versus 20 far-right conservatives. I got my assistant Gary here to help with any questions, and let's begin and see what this is all about. Sped it up a little bit so it's a little faster.
Listen to my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s.
Colonialists.
Yeah,
You
colonials.
don't look
yeah.
very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you talking about?
You're not.
What are you talking about?
What? I don't know. I'm in Canada. That one hasn't made it around here yet, but whites are Native American? That's wild.
You're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Hey, what can I say?
I think you say I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am.
Listen to me. I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Get the hell out.
I don't even like... I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here.
I'm Mehdi Hasan. I'm a journalist. I'm the editor of Zeteo. And today I'm surrounded
Don't you love it when white people are so fucking entitled? Sorry, excuse me. Gonna have to beep that out.
by 20 far-right conservatives.
Okay, Jubilee.
My first claim is Donald Trump is pro-crime and pro-criminal.
To debate Mehdi Hasan's claim, conservatives must enter the circle. Okay, so it's like first
Welcome.
person to touch
Nice
the
to meet you.
chair.
I'm Mehdi.
I would just like to ask, what makes
Yes,
someone
see.
pro-crime versus, anti-crime?
I think when you're soft on criminals, when you let criminals out of prison, when you pardon people who've assaulted police officers, you're pro-criminal. Donald Trump pardoned almost 1,600 people who were involved in January the 6th. I think 600 of them had been charged with assaulting a police officer or obstructing a police officer. 170 had pled guilty to assaulting a police officer. 70 had pled guilty to assault with a deadly weapon. J.D. Vance said, we're not going to pardon the violent criminals from January 6th. Donald Trump pardoned all of them. Are you okay with that?
I would say January 6th is a very special case. I would say it's almost like a climax point in history. I would just phrase the question this way. Right now in the LA protests, if they were to, just for example, they were to rush the capital of LA, I mean, they'd have to move over all the homeless people living in tents on the steps of the Capitol. But if they were managed to get into the Capitol and they were just protesting, peacefully, let's say police officers were rushing them in, they were letting them in and saying, hey, you guys can go in, like we had many testimonies that say.
What about the violent ones, though?
Okay, violent ones like
Like a man named David Dempsey, a judge, a Reagan-appointed judge, sentenced to 20 years in prison. He stomped on police officers' heads. The judge said his conduct was exceptionally egregious. He attacked police officers with flagpoles and...
Hey, Gary, you there? Gary, what happened on January 6th where 1,600 people were arrested?
On January 6, 2021, a group of individuals stormed the U.S. Capitol building in Washington, D.C. This event occurred during a joint session of Congress that was in the process of certifying the Electoral College results of the 2020 presidential election. The situation led to widespread disruption, violence, and a significant response from law enforcement. Following the events, authorities conducted investigations and arrested many individuals involved in the incident. The arrests were related to charges such as trespassing, vandalism, and other offenses. The total number of arrests was around 1,000, not 1,600. Many of those arrested faced legal proceedings in the following months. The event has had significant political and social repercussions in the United States.
Hey, did Donald Trump pardon people that stormed the Capitol on January 6th?
Yes, Donald Trump did pardon individuals involved in the January 6th Capitol events. In fact, he pardoned nearly 1,500 people, including leaders of groups like the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers who were convicted of seditious conspiracy.
Okay, that's wild. Anyway,
pepper spray. Donald Trump pardoned him. There's a man named Daniel Rodriguez. He got 12 years in prison for taking a stun gun and tasing a police officer in the neck and giving him a heart attack. The judge said he was a one-man army of hate. Donald Trump pardoned him. Does that not make Trump pro-criminal? Is there any violent criminals out of prison?
I would say no, it doesn't make him pro-criminal.
You're okay with that?
I did not say that. I said that one pardon against somebody.
It was 1,600 pardons. 600 of those were
Yes,
people charged.
one example that you just gave me.
I can give you more. Okay.
this kid's an idiot. I mean, Jubilee, why are you getting 20 far-right conservatives that are like 20 years old? You know, like, I'm definitely not far right, but like, give them a fighting chance. Mehdi Hasan is like a genius compared to these kids. That said, that was a very stupid thing to say.
Keep going.
Fine.
Shane
And I'll say the
Jenkins.
exact same thing every single
Then
time.
your argument will fall apart because
Okay,
it's not just
go
one
for
example
it,
if I
go
keep
for it.
going.
Go for it then.
Okay, Shane Jenkins got 7 years in prison for 9 criminal offences, attacking police with a deadly weapon, destroying government property.
How do
Trump pardoned
pardons
him.
that probably shouldn't have happened turn into pro-crime?
So you've agreed that they shouldn't have been pardoned?
Sure, but that wasn't your claim. Was January 6th? Your claim was Trump is pro-crime.
Yeah, because he pardons criminals.
Okay,
He
I would say
pardoned
that's a
not-
fault.
Let's talk about non-January 6 people.
Okay.
He's pardoned people like Paul Walchuk recently, who took millions of dollars from his own employees, was sentenced to tax crimes, had to pay back $4 million. Trump pardoned him. He bought himself a $2 million yacht. Why is he pardoning criminals like that?
Well, I don't know. I don't think you should. I don't think really presidential pardon should be a thing at all. But I
agree.
don't think
All
that
right, pause.
that means something.
You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Thanks.
Thanks.
How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, Mehdi?
What is it?
Mehdi.
You're from northern UK, I guess?
I'm from London, North London.
Okay, fair enough. What's your ethnic background, if you don't mind asking?
My parents are from India.
Okay.
What a
perfect.
dick.
Just getting premise here. First
Oh my God, that's racist.
of all, I want to
The
say
premise
this.
of Donald Trump being pro-crime.
No. I want to concern myself with why you care about what's happening in the U.S. First and foremost. Secondly, I want to say this. The
Should
argument,
US
like,
should people who live in the US not care about that?
Let's not interrupt each other. Because I have this thing, like when people know I have this thing. I have to stay calm. Okay, so
Okay.
here's the thing.
I gotta
I
stay
am.
calm. This is the guy that like doesn't know how to fight, but you ask him, or he's always saying like, "Yo, when I need to fight, bro, everything just goes red. I just win," and then they'll fight someone who knows how to fight, and they'll get their ass kicked. So, starting off a debate saying, "Oh, I'm the guy that needs to be calm," I guarantee you, Mehdi is gonna try to rile him up. So let's see what happens.
Happy that he released J6. In fact, so much so that I was prepared to protest if he didn't.
Okay.
So when you say, are you okay that he's pro-crime? Sure, because you know what? We're changing the definition of what crime is. First and
You don't think
foremost.
stomping on police officers' heads is a crime?
I don't think it's no longer a relevant conversation anymore. You're
Really?
arguing, no, it's not, because you know what? Okay, have you seen the U.S. in the last 4 or 5 years?
Yes, I've
BLM
lived
protests.
there for a
Have you
while.
seen? Okay, I myself have been involved in these protests. I've seen egregious things that you couldn't even imagine.
So we
Being
have no
done to
rules then?
conservatives, it's not about
Like
that.
what?
It's about tribal warfare.
Okay.
That's where we're at in the U.S. I don't know where you're at in the U.K. You're from India, so I don't really.
I'm not from India.
Oh, sorry, your parents are from India,
Yeah.
so
I'm an American
you have
citizen.
your own states.
I'm an American, you know.
You're an American citizen? Okay,
Yes.
fair enough. I don't know how you
Yes.
got that, but fair enough. Here's your thing.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But here's the
Not sure how
thing.
you got that. Okay.
Born here.
Okay.
Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s, so I have some stake.
Not sure how you
Okay?
got
It's a
that.
little different.
But you're a
George.
descendant of him.
This is a masterclass on how to debate racist, fascist people.
Settlers.
I didn't know.
Colonialists.
Yeah,
You don't look,
colonials,
you don't
yeah.
look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites
not.
are Native Americans. What are
Sorry,
you talking about?
you're not.
What are you talking about?
You're
Whites
not.
are Native Americans.
Really?
I think
What was
you're-
happening before the 1500s?
I think you're getting confused with it.
I don't mind going on
I
a
think
tangent,
you're- I
but
think
what was
you're
happening
getting-
before the
no,
1500s?
calm down. I think you're getting
What was happening before the 1500s?
There was indigenous people here that
Yeah.
came here
Do
from
you know what
Asia.
indigenous means?
Listen, before
Indigenous
America,
people
Let-
come
you
from
let me
somewhere
finish.
else.
Why do you ask a question if you're going to interrupt?
I'm not sure if you know what the meaning of indigenous means.
I do know what it means. It
Doesn't
means
sound
they
like it.
came here first, right? They came here from Asia by way of land bridge. Have an argument with Neil deGrasse Tyson or anybody else about that. I don't care.
Is he an American?
I genuinely don't care. Yes, he is.
Okay, just
So
checking.
my point is, okay?
Nothing to do with crime. So far, you've agreed with me that these
Because
people
you're
are criminals.
derailing, dude. I'm trying
You
to stay on
literally
track.
sat
This
back
guy
and
is
asked me where I'm
totally-
from. I
Mehdi has totally frazzled this guy.
think you
I
derailed this
think you got
conversation from the
offended
get-go.
by that, but I'm
I'm
because
not
I'm always
offended. I'm
curious.
just wondering what it
because
has to do
I'm
with crime.
always curious.
We're going to talk about
why-
immigration. Don't worry. Later on, you can come back.
I hope so.
Right now, you're doing a very bad job of making the case that he's not pro-crime.
I just
and
got a
pro-criminal.
round of applause. I could probably get another one actually if I asked for it.
Wow.
So
That guy's a
So, I'm going to be as respectful about this as possible, but the truth is, your claim is completely bad faith. You do not care about being anti-crime. You yourself are pro-crime. Your side is pro-crime because you're a progressive.
How am I pro-crime?
So I'll give you an example, right? So your side, not Donald Trump, has passed a series of laws in California. Let's go with California. It's where we are right now. It's where I'm from. I don't know. Are you from California?
No.
Or? Okay. So in California, for example, the state legislature, completely progressive, just passed a law that limits sex offender registration to 10 years. It was life before. That's pro-crime. The legislature in California, which is progressives again, has passed a law that says the voter-induced three-strike law is no longer absolute. If someone murders someone, stabs someone in 3 separate occasions, a judge now does not have to give them life. That's a progressive law. That is not. That is pro-crime. You
I mean, that seems like a law adjustment. That doesn't sound like pro-crime.
support that, don't you?
I actually don't support sex offenders coming off the list. I think they should be on the list.
Okay, so you disagree with progressives.
Hold on. you and I both agree that sex offending is a bad thing, especially child sex offending, right?
It seems like you and I agree on that.
I agree on
Legislature
that.
of California doesn't.
So I'm not here to debate the legislature of California. I'm here to debate
You're
Donald
progressive.
Trump being pro-crime.
But
And
you're
I'm saying that Donald Trump was friends with Ghislaine Maxwell. When Ghislaine Maxwell, who's the worst child sex trafficker of our lifetime, she's serving over 20 years. Do you know Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yeah, she's actually not. Jeffrey Epstein's the worst sex
He's
trafficker.
dead. I'm talking about people alive right now.
It's interesting though you didn't use his name,
No.
right? When he was the one who did this.
Oh, great.
Man, the semantics. The Mehdi's handle on semantics is amazing.
Glad you brought up Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, before he died, did an interview with Michael Wolff. He's on tape. I don't know if you've heard the tape. He says, my closest friend was Donald Trump. I was his closest friend. Elon Musk, I'm not sure if you've heard of him. He tweeted recently that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files. And Ghislaine Maxwell, who was the right-hand woman of Jeffrey Epstein, when she was on trial for child sex offending, which you and I are opposed to, Donald Trump stood up and said, good luck to her, I wish her well. So yeah, that makes him pro-crime and pro-criminal if he's being soft on child sex
Well, you
trafficking,
just said they
like
were his
Epstein.
friends. He's
No, I'm
clearly
saying he was
something.
friends. He was friends with Epstein. You haven't seen the videos? They danced together, partied
Yeah,
together.
it's a
Epstein
guy-
said I was
it's
his
a guy
closest.
They partied together. They definitely did things together with little people. All right. I'm talking about minors, like 17 and younger.
Because he's not supported the pedophilia part. The only people
Actually,
supporting
that's
pedophilia
not
are
true.
left.
Trump gave a speech about 20 years ago where he said Epstein's a great guy. He loves young women. A lot of them are very young. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, laugh, laugh. So yeah, I think he's pro-crime and pro-criminal.
Do you
And I
think
think
he's
he's soft on
pro-crime for
sex
having any friends?
offenders.
Do you have any friends who are criminals?
Not that I know of. Certainly not child sex offenders. No, do you?
If it came, no, of course not.
Okay,
If
so
it
we're
came-
both in agreement again.
If
So why
it
are you
came out
defending
tomorrow
Donald
that
Trump?
if it came out tomorrow that one of your friends was a child sex
You know what
trafficker,
I'd do?
you'd stop being friends with him.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I
but-
wouldn't say-
And then I'd go on TV and I would say, oh look, Mr. Hassan was friends with this guy 10 years ago. Therefore, he's
What if
pro-child
Mr.
sex
Hassan
trafficking.
said, I wish them well when they're on trial? Wouldn't you ever go at me for
You
that?
wish your
Wouldn't
friend
you
well
that?
on trial?
Yeah, child sex trafficking. Would you mean that?
I wouldn't wish someone well, but that's
But
that's
Donald
your
Trump
gotcha.
did.
That's your gotcha.
It's a pretty big
He said
gotcha.
You wish
Yeah,
your friend
pretty
well.
big gotcha.
Okay,
He
this
praised
is-
the- he
what
praised
you're
the
really
woman
trying to do
who
right
does
now is you're
it. What
trying
about
to
the
have
fact
to
that
Donald Trump on a personal level.
Elon
Let's
Musk
talk
says his
policy.
name is...
What's his
Are you
policy?
going to talk policies?
Yes.
So when he left office in 2020, he left behind the highest murder rate for over 100 years.
He left
Between
behind
20
the highest murder.
Yes.
That is the most bad faith claim you
No,
could
no,
possibly
it's a
make.
fact. From the
No,
CDC
and you know what?
data.
Here's why it's bad faith.
Can I finish the sentence and then you can come back in?
You're just lying to people. Donald
I'm
Trump.
not lying? Can I finish the sentence?
Donald Trump does not cause the
Can I-
murder rate.
can I-
Murder is a state
Oh,
level
that's
crime.
hilarious.
Gavin
Conservative
Newsom is
defense-
more responsible for the murder rate than Donald Trump
Okay.
is.
That's
Oh,
hilarious.
man.
Donald Trump's
Pig
not
shirt
the
has
murder
lost
rate.
faith in you,
Yes,
buddy.
Yes, because it's a
Everyone
state
can see
level
your
law.
partisan.
That's like saying no. I'll say Republicans are too.
Let's-
State governors who are soft on crime are the ones that are
Let me
responsible
finish
for
the
murder
sentence. When Donald Trump left...
Anyway, the child doesn't stand a chance. Let's move on.
I mean, appreciate it. I really just more want to get an understanding. When you say pro-criminal, what do you mean?
I mean that when confronted with people who've committed criminal acts, Donald Trump has been either soft on them, friendly with them, pardoned them, and of course, let's not forget, I mean, we've got 5 minutes left, I'm surprised it hasn't come up earlier, he's a convicted criminal himself sitting in the White House.
Okay, I want to make sure I
34
understand you correctly, because
Yes.
I don't want to straw man you.
No,
You're saying
I appreciate that.
every time that he's been confronted,
Not every time. I
most
didn't say
times,
words every time.
most times,
A lot of the time.
a lot of times,
Yes.
he's leaned towards criminal activity.
I didn't say criminal activity. He has committed
It
crimes.
was
He's
criminal.
been indicted for
Correct.
88 different criminal offenses in 4 different
He's
jurisdictions.
been soft. He's pardoned them.
By 5 different grand juries. He was convicted himself on 34 different criminal offenses by a jury of his peers. But let's park that for a moment.
Okay.
Separate to his own crimes, when
Right.
confronted with the crimes of others, or the alleged crimes of others, for example, a Chinese crypto billionaire called
Right.
Justin Sun, who was being investigated for market manipulation, Trump dropped the case, invited him to the golf course,
Right, I
invited
get
him
it.
to the White House.
Let me give you an
The
example.
guy
Let me give you
invested
an
$70 million in Trump
Okay, so
crypto.
what I want to ask you
That's
is,
pro-crime
okay,
in my
so
view.
is it possible, because remember, the burden of proof's on you, right? You have to prove, is it possible that all these things that he's done that supposedly...
I respect this guy's adherence to like debate etiquette. And I'm just curious myself. What is a straw man argument, Gary?
A straw man argument is when someone misrepresents another person's argument to make it easier to attack or refute. Basically, instead of dealing with the actual argument, they create a distorted or exaggerated version of it and argue against that instead.
make them pro-crime
Yeah.
is there's another reason for the doing it. There's other justification. For
Oh,
example,
no,
let
no,
me give you an example,
yeah,
and then you can
please.
rebut it. The J6.
Yes.
Is it possible that he could have done this
Yes.
to unite the country, to move past, to go to a new chapter? If it's even possible, I think you would have to admit that there's another possibility. Therefore, he's not pro-crime. At least a possibility.
So let me agree and disagree.
Yeah, okay.
So I agree with you that the intent could be different. I don't think Donald Trump was sitting there saying, how can I increase the level of murders? Let me release some murderers.
Right.
I'm not saying he did that in January 6th. I don't think he was trying to unite the country. That's where we disagree. That's bullshit. In fact, he divided the country further. But intent doesn't really matter to my claim. If he's releasing violent criminals,
Wait.
it
Intent doesn't matter?
No, he's pro-crime and pro-criminal.
No, but that's a big indictment to say pro-crime. That means
If I'm
he's for
confronted,
crime.
I'm confronted. Well, he is because for I gave him
No,
an
no,
example.
no. It could
Can I
be
finish?
possible.
I didn't
Okay, sorry,
finish.
forgive me.
Your friend earlier, your ally, said, where has he done stuff that's increased the crime? I'm telling you, people have been pardoned who have been convicted on multiple other crimes. These people who we pardoned had previous criminal records. They were not just some folks chilling around and go, we're against the takeover of our country, we're opposed to rebellion. They were, a lot of these people were already hardened criminals, militia members. He looked at those people and said, you know what? They've been convicted, in many cases by Republican judges, But I'm going to let them out. Yeah, that makes
Can I
you
ask you a question?
pro-criminal.
Is it possible?
Very
Okay,
much so.
I'll
And if Joe Biden had done it, you'd be attacking him.
Sure. Is it possible that their conviction was part of the plea? It's like, oh shit, I can't get out of this, so I got to take a plea deal.
Some of them, maybe.
Maybe.
Others we saw with our own lying eyes on tape.
Okay,
Battering
so-
themselves.
so what-
Did you watch live on January 6th? What happened?
To be completely honest, I'm pretty novice on this. I'm more trying to target. You're saying he's pro-crime, and in my head,
I'm
just
saying-
thinking this
I'm-
logically.
I'm-
Let me finish if I can finish for 1 second. If the
I see what he's saying. Like, so Donald Trump is not okay. Pro-crime implies that you encourage crimes and that you're for them, right? And I'm not sure that that's what Donald Trump does. He's probably crime indifferent, or he just doesn't care, or like he's selective in his anti-crime behavior, where if you're a friend, you get an easier treatment than if you're a foe.
there's a possibility that he might have had other reasons. For example, unifying the country.
Yep.
Next chapter, right? That could be the reason. Therefore, it's not
What the
pro-crime.
fuck is that? The guy with the hat. The guy with the hat. Like,
There was other reasons. I'm just saying that's a possibility. And if that's
And I'm
possible,
saying it's a possibility, but I'm saying it's irrelevant, because if you're knowingly releasing violent criminals out into the community, pardoning, not just releasing, then yes, you are being pro-criminal. And I've interviewed police officers.
I don't know about that
I've
case, but
interviewed police officers who have been assaulted, beaten, had to retire from the police office, broken bones.
Can I move really quick? Yeah, go
I'll
ahead.
finish very quickly. I've interviewed these police officers. They've been beaten by people who they've then seen walk off the streets and then carry on threatening them. Yes, when Donald Trump is responsible for that, you're definitely pro-crime.
yeah, so here's the thing. Here's what Mehdi is trying to say. As far as I understand it, and if I'm wrong, someone correct me, because I'm trying to learn and enjoy this too with you guys, right? So if you pardon a criminal who has a criminal past, the likelihood that they're gonna commit crimes again obviously is high. So does that make you pro-crime? Kind of. Because you're increasing the probability of crimes happening in the world.
okay, I doubt a
All
lot
right,
of the sources,
pause.
You doubt police officers who testified to being assaulted.
You've
Wow.
been voted out by the majority. Please return
Nice
to
to
your
meet
seat.
you. Thanks.
That guy was respectful.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Nice to meet you, Mehdi.
So you claim that your main claim is that Trump
Let's go down to business.
pardoned some people from January 6th. By the way, I was there. I saw it all firsthand. About a football field away. There's smoke in my eyes. Bloodied. It was a crazy day.
Were you convicted of any crimes?
No, of course not, because I didn't enter the building. Stayed very peaceful. But your entire claim is that he
That's not
pardoned.
my entire claim.
That's basically you keep
No,
bringing
I
it up.
mentioned-
All you do is bring it up. Let me say this.
You're
Let me say
saying with
this.
this pardoning of Paul Wolchak, who
Let
was
me
someone
bring
who was
this up.
employed
You keep
for
talking about
9 former
pardoning.
members of Congress.
You
That's
keep
my
talking
claim.
about
He
pardoning.
keeps pardoning criminals. That makes him.
You know who else
pro-criminal.
pardoned a big criminal?
Go on.
Hunter Biden was pardoned by his
Yeah,
father.
and he
He
should
did
have done
crack
that.
cocaine,
He should have
and
done
he
that.
had hookers there too.
I'm with you all. I'm with you all.
But then why don't you claim that Biden? Why don't you claim that
I think
Biden?
Joe Biden in that instance was pro-crime. He shouldn't have done it.
Well,
He shouldn't have done
overall
it. He
pro-crime
shouldn't have
because
done
he did
it.
that.
No, Joe Biden didn't just. So if it was just a pardon, then you'd be fine. But I already mentioned there's also the fact that Joe Biden wasn't actually convicted criminal in office. Trump has committed crimes. Trump hangs around with criminals. He spent much of the 80s hanging around with the New York mob. He hangs around with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell.
Well, that
I can give you.
Gary, was Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein friends?
Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein did know each other and moved in some of the same social circles for a time. There are reports of them attending events together in the past, but their relationship became strained later on. It's a complex topic with a lot of nuances and speculation.
Roughly how many parties did they attend together that we know of?
It's difficult to pinpoint an exact number, but there are reports of them being seen together at several social events in the 1990s and early 2000s. Some sources mention a few gatherings and parties at Mar-a-Lago, but the exact count isn't clearly documented.
Can you give me a number?
It's challenging to give a precise number because the documentation is not concrete, but it's been reported that they attended a handful of social events.
Just take a guess. Give me a number. Take a guess.
Sure. Based on various reports and accounts, it's estimated that they might have attended around 3 to 5 social events together.
What's the probability of Jeffrey Epstein being having taken part in underage sexual activity?
Jeffrey Epstein was convicted in 2008 of charges related to procuring a minor for prostitution, and there was substantial evidence and multiple accusations against him regarding underage victims. It's widely accepted based on legal outcomes and investigations that he was involved in such activities.
What's the likelihood of Trump being in the same boat?
It's important to note that while there have been associations between Trump and Epstein, there hasn't been any legal conviction or concrete evidence proving that Trump engaged in the same activities as Epstein. Speculation exists, but it's crucial to rely on verified facts and legal outcomes.
Gary, are you lying?
I'm here to provide accurate and factual information to the best of my ability. If you have any concerns or need clarification, feel free to ask.
Okay, Gary.
Jeffrey Epstein lived in West Palm Beach, the area, and that's the closest golf course you can go to.
Do you think
he's very
Donald Trump is in the Epstein
so he
file?
paid.
Do you think Donald Trump is in the
As
Epstein
soon
file?
as Trump found out,
Do you think
that
Donald Trump is in the
Epstein-
Epstein file?
No, I do not.
What is Elon Musk lying?
Let me explain this.
Okay.
He lived in the area in Mar-a-Lago, near Mar-a-Lago, so he bought, obviously, a ticket to go in there.
Yeah.
As soon as Trump found out that Epstein had done all those bad things, immediate ban
That's
from
not true,
Mar-a-Lago.
but okay.
Immediate ban
That's
from
not
Mar-a-Lago.
true.
Yes, it is.
That's not
Yes,
true.
it is.
In fact,
100%.
getting back to
So-
recruited
so-
some of the girls that were abused from Mar-a-Lago.
So listen to this.
From Mar-a-Lago. That's pretty outrageous, right?
Elon Musk tweeted that out in a fit of rage, okay? Do you really,
Sometimes
do you
people tell
really
the truth
think,
when they're angry.
do you really
the
think,
truth comes out when people are angry sometimes.
so Cash
we might
Patel,
see that today.
Cash Patel literally said that Musk had no access to the Epstein files. So,
Cash Patel said that Epstein killed himself. Do you agree with that?
whatever he says goes then, yeah, I don't care.
You do?
He knows more information
A
than
lot
I
of
do.
angry people are
He knows
upset.
more
Wow.
information than I do.
He just
But
lost the
here's
confidence
actual-
of everybody.
Trying to vote you out because you said you agree with Cash Patel on Epstein.
He knows more information than I
Alright,
do.
pause. That's time. Please return to your seat.
It's
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Mandy, lovely to meet you.
So I would say that with Trump being anti-constitution, I don't really care, to be quite frank,
Okay.
because in regards to the Constitution is a document that should seek to serve us. And when it fails to seek to serve us, that can be amended. Laws can be changed. And quite frankly, the fact is, we're defending things in this country that shouldn't be defended. The First Amendment should not defend pornography and making children and women be victimized. Making women and children be victimized as a result of that. I think things like blasphemy shouldn't be allowed per the First Amendment. I think that, quite frankly, there are a lot of legal processes that are enabling criminals and bad people to fully enact their will in this country in the name of the Constitution or following the Constitution. So, quite frankly, if Trump is anti-Constitution, good. I think he should go further.
So this is wonderfully revealing of the modern conservative mindset. So I appreciate you spelling it out so openly. Just checking, do you support the Second Amendment?
I do.
Okay. Surprise! I was shocked to hear that. I'm saying that Donald Trump is defying the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. He's thinking of defying the 12th and 22nd Amendments. You're saying you don't care about the Constitution, but actually you do because you quite like the Second Amendment. You just don't like the bits that you disagree with. Can I just be clear on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm more than willing to amend it and
Whenever it's in
include
your
the
favor.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So can Democrats do the same when they're in office?
No, absolutely not.
So you don't
Because
believe in
you're
democracy?
No, I don't. Absolutely not.
What do you believe in?
Autocracy.
By who?
Honestly, quite frankly, anyone who is in line with Catholic teaching.
Donald Trump is not Catholic.
Of course, he's not. I
So-
completely agree.
so you
That's
support
the
Trump?
problem.
You don't support Trump?
No, I don't. I didn't even vote for him.
This guy's an idiot. Sorry. Can't listen. Next. Hey, Gary, what's a fascist?
A fascist is someone who supports fascism, which is a far-right authoritarian political ideology. It typically involves dictatorial power, strong centralized control, suppression of opposition, and often a belief in nationalism or racial superiority. It emerged in the early 20th century and is often associated with dictators like Mussolini and Hitler.
Is America or Israel a fascist state?
Both America and Israel are democratic countries with elected governments, freedom of speech, and a multi-party system. Fascism involves authoritarian rule and suppression of opposition, which is different from how these countries operate. It's important to recognize the complexities and differences in political systems.
Can democracy and apartheid go hand in hand?
Democracy and apartheid are fundamentally opposed concepts. Democracy emphasizes equality, representation, and the rights of all citizens, while apartheid is a system of institutionalized racial segregation and discrimination. Historically, apartheid systems denied equal rights to large groups of people, which is incompatible with true democratic principles.
Okay, but you just said that Israel is a democratic state, but it is widely recognized that they are an apartheid state, or they practice apartheid.
The situation is complex and views on it can vary. Israel identifies as a democratic state, but some international organizations and individuals have described certain policies and practices as akin to apartheid, particularly regarding
Gary.
the treatment of
Stop.
Sure, I'll stop. If you have any other questions or if there's something else you'd like to discuss, feel free to let me know.
And checking out who the fascists and the Nazis are.
I'm not ashamed of that whatsoever.
clearly you're not.
During the pre-war period, prior to World War II, it was only those parties that properly enacted the people's will. That's why they won. The conservatives were fat cats.
Are you
they were
in favor
aristocrats,
of,
they didn't care.
killing people who aren't like you?
Quite frankly, I'm not. If
You mentioned
they...
Franco earlier. Franco killed a lot of innocent people.
Oh, well, he killed communists. He killed people who raped nuns and killed priests.
What about children who he killed and women who he killed?
What are you talking about? He never killed any women or children. He was
He only killed combatants. Is that what you're
Yeah, he only killed combatants.
Never killed any
The white terror was only punishing those people who did acts of terrorism. And again, are you supporting like raping innocent women and nuns, dude? Killing priests? I mean, priests still brandish guns and kill
You
people.
just refuse to condemn the Nazi Holocaust, my friend. I don't think you're in a position to ask anyone any questions.
I quite frankly don't care what you think about me. If I'm a Nazi and being a
feeling
Nazi,
is neutral,
if
so-
being a Nazi means upholding human dignity, because I even believe in your dignity. I don't. In a state that I was
with
running,
greatest
I
respect.
wouldn't want to hurt you or anything like that. But quite frankly,
I don't debate fascists.
okay. So do you concede that? I mean, why?
Do I concede you're a fascist who won't condemn the Nazis? Yes, I concede.
Okay, great. So I mean, what are we doing here? Because I mean, you just seem offended.
You're a
You just seem
fucking
offended,
fascist.
quite
Get
frankly.
I'm
off.
offended by people who can't condemn the Nazis.
Okay. Well, I condemn the evils that they did, but I don't really care about being. Yeah, sure. I don't care about being called a Nazi is the whole thing. I care
You
about
called
those
yourself a
right
Nazi
things.
fascist and a General Franco
Well,
supporter.
yeah, I am a General Franco supporter. He was awesome. He was so super.
Okay, this guy's just riling people up.
So I kind of want to start at the basics or the foundation. I want to see.
Can I just check?
Yes.
Are you a fascist?
No.
Okay.
I don't. I describe myself as. I think just a Christian.
Fair.
I'm a devout Christian.
Good to hear.
So. I want to start like, what is your connection to the Constitution, and why do you love it so much? Like, what makes it so important that Trump would defy something like the Constitution to you personally?
Great question. My first connection is I'm an American citizen. I naturalized American citizen, took a pledge to this country, to the Constitution.
Pink shirt is
as a
getting
previous,
real
speaker
ruffled
said,
back there.
Constitution's not perfect. A lot of things I don't like about it. I don't like the Second Amendment. There's a various amendment. I don't like the way the Senate is set up. I'm sure there are things you don't like about the Constitution. The difference is, I don't think you can just illegally defy the Constitution. I don't think each and every one of us can make up whatever we want. Certainly presidents who are elected with an oath, right? Donald Trump took an oath to preserve, protect, defend the Constitution. And now when he's asked on television, isn't it your job to uphold the Constitution? He said on NBC, I don't know, which goes against his oath. And I'm identifying specific amendments where he is violating. He's only 6 months into his presidency, defying the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. He wants to defy the 22nd Amendment and be president for a third term. This is the problem we have right now. Free speech is under assault. The free press is under assault. Due process is under assault. The right to be in your home and not be invaded by federal agents, the Fourth Amendment, is under assault. So that for me is a problem.
Okay. Well, I'd like to start to say I really don't find the Constitution that important. I find it to be like a 300-year-old document, and it was created to defy the country.
If the age of the document dictates its importance, like, we're done. Like, if old documents don't matter, like, what about the Bible, Mr. Christian?
That subjugated your ancestors in India, and then your parents probably moved from India to Britain, and then you moved here to tell us that we should listen to a piece of paper that you were never even connected to begin with. So I want to say, like, if I don't care about it, why do you care about it so much?
How do you run a country without any kind of laws or due process? And by the way, you do care about it, because without the First Amendment, you wouldn't be sitting here.
Well, I agree with the First Amendment. And I think
So do you
every
agree with Donald
country-
Trump's crackdown on the First Amendment? He's imprisoning people for their speech. He's threatening free speech media organizations. He's threatening peaceable assembly. These are all rights under the First Amendment. Why aren't you bothered by that as a conservative who claims to love the First Amendment?
White girl bothered.
So I don't like the First Amendment. I like free speech.
Okay,
so
the First Amendment is what guarantees free speech.
It
I'm from the
guarantees
UK, by the
free
way.
speech.
I'm from the UK,
Yeah, you guys
which is
don't
a
have
democracy.
that.
We don't have the First
Yeah.
Amendment. No, that's one of the things I do like about the Constitution. I wish the UK did have a First Amendment.
So people
I'm a
get
journalist.
arrested for praying outside abortion clinics
So-
and stuff like that, right?
So you're opposed to people being arrested for speech crimes, I assume.
well, it depends what it is. If it's like the
Oh,
people...
so you're like one of the previous speakers. You don't,
No.
as long as it's someone who agrees with you, you don't mind the
No,
crackdown.
no, I
How do
support-
we consistently support
I
principles or
support
we
free
don't?
speech 100%.
Okay.
I don't think
So
anyone...
do you think Donald Trump is defying the Constitution by cracking down on the First Amendment?
So I think he's cracking down on free speech, like the deportation of Mahmoud Khalil, who was
just released from prison by a judge saying his First Amendment rights are violated.
and I agree with the judge, and I disagree with Trump deporting him. But I think that's more a matter of free speech and not the Constitution.
I think that's penetrating.
He just lost the whole team.
Down on free speech, which is the First Amendment. So he is defying the Constitution. So it's a pleasure to be
I just
agreeing with you,
realize that.
sir.
All right, pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Poor guy.
Okay, how's your Mehdi?
Mehdi. Great to meet you. My name is Kai. Do you, Mehdi,
believe that the Constitution is important and good?
Overall, yes.
Do you believe that Constitution can be eroded through democratic processes?
What do you mean by eroded?
The original intention of the Constitution being destroyed through a purely democratic legal process.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
Okay.
I think if you're democratically amending the Constitution per the rules of the Constitution, that's fine. If we could find a constitutional way to get rid of the Second Amendment, I'm pro that.
So let's pose a hypothetical where the entire population of the United States has drastically changed,
Yes.
and the population now has completely different intentions about what to do with the country. Let's say it wants to give it all back to Mexico, dismantling the United States of America. If that's the case, then what's the use of the Constitution? It hasn't defended the country. In fact, it's allowed for its destruction.
I don't understand that premise. How did the whole country change?
Demographic replacement, mass migration. I mean, we're seeing a change in demographics. And there's
What is the... I do want to talk about immigration today.
I want to talk about it.
Everyone's itching in this group to get immigration. I've saved it for you all. But given we're on the sense of the Constitution, and you asked the question, what is the proportion of immigrants in this country? What proportion of the population is foreign born?
It's very difficult to measure because the actual projections of the number have been changing more rapidly.
What is it currently? The best estimate of
I
official
think it's about 15%.
Yes, just under 15%.
Which is, by the way, more actually than the original estimate was. So,
But 15% of the people are going to change the country, change the Constitution. How's that going? It's actually a nightmare. As someone who wants to amend the Constitution, get rid of things like the ridiculous way the Senate is set up, the Second Amendment, various other things. It's really hard to change the Constitution. They made it impossible, almost impossible. You know, last time we had a constitutional amendment,
you know
like
what?
20, 30 years ago.
I understand, which
And
is
it was
why
like members of Congress pay.
Which is why I get it.
So where are you getting this scenario where 350 odd million people all become foreign-born migrants, or the children of migrants, immediate migrants, even though America is a nation of migrants, and then abandons the Constitution and gives the country back to Mexico? Outside of your imagination, where does that happen?
Let's bring it back to the actual discussion. What you did is you entertain my hypothetical, but then instead of sticking to the point of the Constitution, you said, well, how would you bring about your hypothetical? And then when I
Because you missed out about what the Constitution requires to change.
Hold on. I understand that. I give you
I also wanted to get a sense of where you are, and you're a great replacement guy.
okay. Yeah, you're a real good journalist because you don't talk to people who identify as like political ideology. I mean, that's
No,
very
I don't debate fascists. I'll talk to them.
And frankly, that's upsetting. I think there's a big problem when we value freedom of speech so much, but any real journalist is not going to talk to somebody because they identify with the politically incorrect ideology.
Just talk to the guy in front of you. What are you talking about?
You literally stop talking to him and then
Debating versus talking are very different. It's pointless. He doesn't believe in free speech. He doesn't believe in democracy.
He was freely speaking with you. You're the one who
shut
doesn't.
up. No, he said it very clearly. Okay, so I support free speech so that I can get one election. After one election, my guy comes in, and after my guy comes in, nobody gets to speak or vote again. Why would I debate that?
We listen to your conversation.
Well, I'm reminding you what it says.
Let's bring it back to the Constitution.
Please do.
Bro, this guy is stuck on semantics too much, and it's not fun.
Nice to meet you.
How are you? So Trump is defying the 1st, 4th,
5th, and 14th, and maybe the 22nd soon.
Okay. So I want to focus on the 1st
Okay.
and then the 5th.
Okay.
So you say that Trump is defying.
Gary, I'm Canadian. What's the First Amendment?
The First Amendment is part of the United States Constitution's Bill of Rights. It protects several fundamental freedoms, including freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of the press, the right to assemble peacefully, and the right to petition the government. It's a cornerstone of American democratic values.
Is Trump against the First Amendment?
Donald Trump has expressed strong opinions about the media and protests during his presidency, which some people viewed as challenging to First Amendment protections. However, he has also voiced support for free speech in different contexts. It's a nuanced topic with differing interpretations depending on perspective.
All right.
The First Amendment? Can you give me an example?
For example, he banned the Associated Press from attending White House events. A Trump-appointed judge said that was against the First Amendment. He's been cracking down on media organizations he doesn't like over their speech. If they say stuff he doesn't like, for example...
Cracking down how?
So, for example, he banned the Associated Press from attending White House events because
I
they
can't go
said
to the White House
it's the
either.
Gulf of Mexico. That's not how it works. They were already at the White House. He deprived them of access, so he punished them for their speech.
But are they allowed to go to the press
Which is why a
club?
judge he appointed, Trevor McFadden, said this was contrary to the First Amendment. A Trump-appointed judge. He's called MSNBC and CNN illegal. Media organizations are not ipso facto
But that's free speech.
illegal.
He can call them whatever they want.
Attacking the media?
Yeah, he
By
can
the
attack.
president as the executive?
Yeah, he can
And-
say whatever he wants. That's literally the First Amendment.
He can say whatever
Yeah,
he
but
wants.
that's a lie.
But the media can't say what they want.
They do.
But he's going after them. He's suing them. He's using lawsuits to crack down on the press.
They
Presidents
used
have not done that
lawsuits to
before.
give him 34 felonies that Hillary Clinton did.
No media gave him a lawsuit.
No, but people
we're
on the
talking about
Democratic
media.
side.
We don't talk about the Democrats.
Okay. So he can call them whatever he wants because that's the freedom of speech.
He's
he can even
threatened to
discourage-
imprison reporters.
He absolutely.
He wants to imprison. He said reporters should go to prison for reporting. He threatened some of them with prison rape. Right? That is against the First Amendment.
Okay. How is that against the First Amendment?
You don't think sending reporters to prison for
Is he
reporting
sending
illegal
them?
crime?
Did he do that?
He wanted to. He said so. I would like them to do that.
I would really like to.
So other people stopped him doesn't mean he's not defending the Constitution.
So
he also said if you turn up...
Excuse me. He can want to do something.
Yes.
That doesn't mean he will or can.
Okay.
And I think he's very
Well, I've already
aware
given an
of
example
that.
of something he did do to the Associated Press. But okay.
Yeah, okay, so the Associated Press isn't allowed in the Oval Office, which is his office, that's his executive space.
Okay.
And they are allowed in the press room, just like CNN, just like The Guardian.
Which he thinks are illegal media organizations.
He can
He
think
calls
whatever he
the
wants.
media the enemies of the people.
You call him a fascist.
Yeah.
you can say whatever you want.
Yes.
Yeah,
But the
and-
president is... I'm not the president of the United States with executive
So,
power
okay,
to
so
crack
that
down on media.
Amendment only applies to the citizens, but not the
I
president.
never said that.
Okay,
In fact, Donald Trump runs his mouth more than anyone.
Absolutely. he
Yeah,
does.
and he doesn't
He
just say
is-
stuff. As I said, he actually does stuff. He actually just cracked up. For example, Fifth Amendment,
Yes.
due process.
Yes.
Judges have actually said you have violated due process.
Yes,
Are
except
people
for
on trial?
people kind of forget that Clinton, the 1996 immigrant.
I love how people justify the crimes of others by saying that other people did them. It's just such a wrong way of thinking. Like, well, Clinton did it. Why can't our guy do it? Like, both are wrong. You know. Anyway.
Reform Act,
Yeah.
where you can get limited due process when you have expedited.
American citizens?
No.
What about American citizens?
Who's getting deported? That's American.
Two American children have been deported multiple this year. Have you not been-
No. Their parents have been deported, and their parents say,
No, the
"I'm
father
gonna
was
take
American.
my baby."
No.
Was mom legal?
We don't know because they didn't go to court. And the judge...
They
by
don't
the
have
way-
to go to
by the-
court.
Yes.
That's
okay.
not a part of the due process.
Are you a lawyer?
I'm very aware.
Are you a lawyer?
Do I have to be? We're making an
Are
argument
you a lawyer?
from. We're making
It's a simple question. Are you a lawyer?
Okay, we're making an
I'll
argument.
take that as a no. A Trump-appointed judge in the case, not some Marxist lefty judge as you people like to call them, a Trump-appointed conservative judge said you cannot, it is illegal and unconstitutional to expel or deport an American citizen without meaningful process. He said that in April. So that was an act that Trump did. It wasn't a speech. He got rid of an American citizen from the country without process.
So the
That's the
trial-
Fifth Amendment violation.
Since I'm not up to date on that specific
I'll give you
case,
more.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
shut up, girl.
So
Well, you weren't aware that American citizens are being deported. It's a pretty big story.
Yeah, the
Maybe
trial
if you read the
was
fake news, you might know.
What?
Ooh.
And designed to make sense of a complex world.
Know that your fellow citizens have been deported this year.
My fellow citizens.
Are they not American citizens have been deported?
Okay, when a child goes with their. All right, guys, that's time. Please return to your
Nice to
seat.
meet you.
Nice to meet you. Oh, nice to meet you,
Mehdi.
Danila. So in regards to your claim, I just want to start by asking this: do you care more about helping Americans or immigrants in this claim?
Immigrants are Americans. I'm an immigrant and I'm American.
Well, immigrants are not Americans. Americans are people that were born here.
That's not true. What's
Are you talking
the
about
basis of your
people-
claim for
Are you
that?
talking about people that get naturalized in the process of becoming American?
14th Amendment. Have you read it?
Okay, yes, I have.
Citizenship clause.
so
So
I'm-
any persons born or naturalized in the United States are citizens of the United States.
I'm aware of that.
There's about 40 to 50 million naturalized
I'm
Americans
aware
in
of
this
that.
country.
Yes, but
You didn't seem aware of it because you said Americans versus immigrants.
So, but are you understanding that the process of getting all these immigrants that come here for, even also the millions of immigrants, it's up to the millions, it's the last 20 years now, and it has dramatically affected Americans here in the country, which
Positively, I would argue.
people like me and everyone around here, we cannot find homes or even get jobs within our own fields or to go to college for that we get into debt for. And because more
Blaming
blue-collar work,
immigrants?
especially construction-
Weak. Hell yeah. Super racist Chad. Look at this guy. He's chomping at the bit. It's
Hey,
my
how's it going,
turn,
Mehdi?
bro.
What's going on, man? Nice to meet you. All right, so first before I start, I need to know what you mean by good. I can talk about the economy, I can talk about culture, I can
Great.
talk about all those things. I need
All
to
of
know
them.
what you mean.
All of them.
All of them.
I'm saying immigrants are good for the economy. They're good for
You think lower
culture.
wages are
They're
good for
good
the
for
economy?
society. Where's the lower wages?
What do you mean, where's the lower wages?
Where's the lower wages?
Yeah, so you can
What's the
look at
basis for saying no lower wages?
Sure, so you can look at like the STEM industry, it's been in like a complete and total recession. There's been tons of studies like from the Economic Policy Institute that shows that like companies like Tesla, companies from Silicon Valley, they engaged in mass firing of workers around 35,000, but then they hired around 12,000 H-1B visas, and it's kind of just standard economic thinking. If you
It's not standard economic thinking. The vast majority of economists and economic studies suggest that there is a negligible, if no impact on wages over time.
That's not-
In fact, your colleague mentioned earlier construction. There is actually evidence in construction, yes. But in
so
some
mad.
industries, in some areas, there is an impact. But overall, no. In fact, a study from the National Bureau of Economic Research found that migrants since 1965 have raised wages.
Who's that?
Raised innovation. Who's that? National Bureau of Economic Research.
No, that's where you publish studies on
Yes, I didn't
know
memorize the names of the authors.
Yeah, I know you did.
Can you
Right?
tell me the authors you've
Yeah,
done?
hold on. The study you're talking about is from Giovanni Perry, and what he did is he didn't account for aggregation issues, nor did he
The vast majority of
Let me
studies.
speak,
Please.
Yeah, thank you, right? So listen, he didn't account for aggregation issues, right? And when you look at like the
Bro,
spatial
chill.
approaches with all these economists use, you're not accounting for the fact that when immigrants come into an area, natives leave. If you look at an occupational approach where you look at the specific firms that immigration is going
going into, like Kim ETAL 2013 did, you find a net negative impact when there's a 10% increase of immigration, you find around a 0.5% decline in wages when it comes to specific occupations you're going to. So 0.5%, weigh that up against what I just mentioned, the Congressional Budget Office, which is a massive boost in GDP per head, which you're not counting for, massive increase in tax revenue, immigrants actually funding the deficits and debts by paying way more in taxes, proportionally, to undocumented immigrants. And what's interesting about wages is, I'm in a room full of, I don't know what to call you anymore, conservative, Republicans, fascists, I don't know. One of you probably said that. One of us is proud. Oh, yeah, correct. I'm in a room full of correct people, but do any of you actually care about wages?
Yeah, I actually do.
I support raising the minimum wage.
Absolutely.
That's not the reason the Republican Party has lost the minimum wage. You think Republican politicians don't vote for an increase in minimum wage because they're worried about immigration?
Did I say Republicans? Did I say Republicans?
Well, I'm going to show that it was called 25 far-right Republicans.
That doesn't mean I support every single Republican.
Good. So you and I both agree. We both support raising the minimum wage. $7.25 since 2009. It's lost 30% of value.
Oh, America.
Wages, we should be
Is that
raising the minimum wages.
$7?
Not scapegoating
Holy
white to our
crap.
cause of no wages. You know who's causing
How
no
do you
wages?
eat?
Billionaires, millionaires, and people who won't pay fair wages to their wages, regardless of whether you are an immigrant or a
I
native
get your
born.
monologue right now.
You have one. You have no. Did you want to study that have 0.5% impact?
Yeah, your study like sucked, but you didn't even know you wrote it. So let's get back to the point.
Because
And there you go.
the majority of studies say that wages are not impacted.
The majority of studies are flawed.
You've been defeated, buddy.
That's what I'm.
Good to see you. How are you?
Not bad. So, what type of immigrants are we talking about?
What do you mean?
Like any immigrants or are
That's what I said.
are illegal
Look at
immigrants?
this guy.
Undocumented immigrants also contribute
Illegal.
greatly to the US. I say undocumented, I think people are illegal.
So, let's put it this way. I mean, I'm an immigrant too, from
Right.
Iran.
Okay.
There isn't even
How
a
do you feel
US.
about the fact that people here want you out? Are you okay with it?
I'm here to debate you, not debate them.
I mean, you're all on the same side. You're part of one group.
No.
You mean clapping each other.
No, I mean, there are conservatives here, there are far-right people here, there are Republicans
But how do you
here.
feel about that guy wanting me and you to leave?
But, you know, let's
I'm just
stick-
wondering. Wait, this is the topic of immigration.
It's
How
not
do you
about
feel about the
it's
guy?
not about my feelings towards them.
Okay.
It's about staying on this topic.
Okay.
And
Immigrants are
talk
good for
about-
America, yeah. You and me, we're good for America. And the guy over there wants us to leave. So I'm just wondering how you feel about that.
So I believe that there has to be strict immigration laws.
Okay.
We have to make sure that the people who
You
are
know-
coming here have the good intent of the United States
Yeah.
in mind.
Iranians, I'm sorry, guys. Y'all who come to these countries in the West are confused as heck. He thinks that he's on the other guy's side, and the other guy would deport his ass like that if he could. And it's just very confusing to me when I see immigrants and the children of immigrants who are like, yeah, we're like far, far right. You know, it's like you're not that team. They don't want you on their team. It's crazy.
That's not my claim, but okay.
So
My claim is about immigrants
So
are net
if,
positive.
if you just open our borders to every single person
No one
that wants to
calls
be
for
here,
borders.
you know, that claims that they have economical hardship in their country.
Who's calling for open borders?
No, I'm just saying, you know.
Oh, it's a straw man. So you're just saying a straw man.
No, I'm saying
You're
that
wasting
if you-
time with a straw man. No one's
No.
calling for open borders.
I mean,
call for
well,
open
you
borders.
wasted
I said
time.
immigrants who...
You
sorry?
wasted time trying to cause division between me and my friend
Division.
over
He
here.
wants you to leave the country. That's a pretty big deal.
All
I mean, you can ignore it,
Like I
but that's
said-
your side, my friend.
Like I said,
You
you were
made
the
your
one
bets.
that tried to derail this argument.
Derail?
But by bringing that.
It's
even
literally
though we're
cause my
trying to-
argument. I'm saying immigrants are good to America. People on
And-
your
and
side
I asked
saying
you, what
we
type
should
of-
leave. Not me.
And
me
I
and you.
asked you, what type of immigrants are we talking about? Are we
Immigrants
talking about
overall.
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 This
So-
guy's dumb.
Good too.
I'm a deferred action of childhood arrivals. I was an illegal immigrant myself. I came here when I was 10. I'm what you would call a legal alien now. I didn't have any say on my parents' choices.
Yes.
Do I think that they were well-meaning by wanting to bring me over for a better future? Absolutely.
Of course.
Believe that.
Yeah.
Did they break the law? Yes. Do I agree with people breaking the law? Not necessarily. Do I think that there's ever a situation where you can break the law for the better or the greater good? Immigration is it's an interesting issue because I do agree with you that
Good to hear.
everyone is an immigrant in the sense that. Can you tell me a little bit more about your journey?
My guy's trying to get therapy from Mehdi Hasan. Let's go.
In history are going to be like race, religion, ethnicity, language. These are some of the things that we have to have in common in order to actually have a functioning civilization, especially in self-government. I'm not necessarily a giant fan of self-government. I'm a Catholic nationalist. I'm not a fascist. You have to have at least some things in common in order to actually have a civilization. And the immigrants, especially illegal immigrants that come into this country now, disrespect us. They hate everything that we believe. They don't even speak our language. I watched after Trump got elected, I watched an interview of an illegal alien woman crying and about getting deported, and the entire interview was in Spanish. That is a spit in the face. It's disrespect. They don't.
Dude, shut up. Sorry, most of these people I can't stand. Okay. but I'm willing to hear everybody out a little bit.
You made it.
Great to
Nice
see
to meet
you.
you, Mehdi.
My name is Cyrus.
Nice to meet you,
I
Cyrus.
am also son of 2 immigrants, came in legally. I'm also Persian descent,
Fantastic.
born in LA.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Tarantulas.
Yes, yes. Well, I am mainly upset, not at the immigrants, legal or not. I'm mainly upset at Wall Street. I'm mainly upset at the elites, the special interests. They're the main reason why we've been having this issue since 1965. And I understand most want to do well. There are a few bad apples, we can agree.
Okay.
But we want to go after the elites. They're the main cause of the problem.
Love it.
And just like
I'm with you.
healthcare, trade, everything.
Did you know,
it's the-
Cyrus, that the top 1% dodge $163 billion in taxes every year, while undocumented people pay $100 billion in tax? So
Well,
I know where my anger is against.
There are issues with our tax system on the rich, but in a state like California, some taxes are too high. I used to live here,
It's a
now I
different
live
debate.
in Las Vegas.
Different debate.
Okay,
I'm saying
but
immigration is good for
depends
America.
on the
People
taxes.
like you and me overall are good for America, is what I'm
Okay,
saying.
but it depends on how it's done.
Yes.
It depends on how it's
And
done.
how it's being done to
So
US is
I'm
good.
not blaming the housing crisis on immigrants,
Yep, and you'd be
not
wrong
on
too.
wages,
And you'd be
but
wrong too.
in a state like California that doesn't build enough homes,
Yep.
and they're bringing immigrants in, you have to increase supply of
I
housing.
agree.
Okay,
I agree.
but this is where our anger is at, is the political class. The Democrat Party used to have a different stance on immigration 15 years ago. Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton.
I'm not a fan of that. I'm not here to defend different Democrats. What I will say is,
Well, that's all right.
what I will say is everyone here actually does think immigration is good for America. Everyone here uses an iPhone designed by an immigrant, is on Gmail
Fair
designed
point.
by an immigrant, is on a YouTube show.
But this
You guys
is-
all came to a YouTube
Yeah.
channel founded by an immigrant. You wouldn't
Fair
really
point.
care
But that's
if it
a
wasn't
tiny
by an
minority.
immigrant. So you all love immigrants, whether you like it or not.
Okay, but it's a taboo subject. Should we be concerned about the demographics? So
No.
Anglo-Saxon, European Americans, 0% of America, it doesn't matter.
Are they 0% of America?
Well, let's say if it becomes 0%, it should not
No,
work.
no, no. Why are you bring weird hypotheticals?
But there has to, I mean, there's still part of our country, there's culture, there's, I mean, even Britain, like,
I mean,
it
Americans
concerns
concerns
me,
me.
but it
Wait,
concerns me when Britain
You're not
is
white.
changing, and it's,
Shut up.
You know, it's like we're losing.
Fucking brown guys who don't know that they're brown. Oh, this girl. Hell yeah.
Would they be able to come back? He said, no, they wouldn't. That is the literal definition of ethnic cleansing, according to a UN definition
Why do you
of
think
ethnic
that
cleansing.
Trump is saying this? Do you think that he has some personal interest in cleansing Gaza, or do you think there might be some special interest group, or perhaps religious or ethnic group that's, that maybe he received money from them? That's the reason why he wants to cleanse Gaza. Or why do you think that is?
I don't do Donald Trump's motivation. I really don't care. My claim is that what he's doing is ethnic cleansing.
Well, don't
Do you agree with that?
I would actually, probably agree, but I'm
Do
just
you agree that it's ethnic cleansing, or agree with doing it?
No, I don't agree with that, but I know that's probably his plan. But I'm trying to figure out, like, why do you think that is?
Oh,
Because
man.
Donald Trump's a white man, he identifies as Christian, I'm not sure if he really is. But what interest does he have in preserving a Jewish ethno state? Like, why would he have
That's a
that?
good question. You have to ask Donald Trump that question.
APAC.
I've
You
made
don't-
multiple views.
you don't
I'm sure
think-
you have many views. I'm not sure I like where you're going with your views, but I think Donald Trump is definitely someone who's got financial interests in ethnic cleansing. He's got political interests. He loves the evangelical vote.
Financial.
A lot of Christian evangelicals like
APAC.
They think Jesus will come back if all the Jews are gathered in one place with no Palestinians. I think he's going to make money, he thinks, from beachfront property with Jared Kushner. He said something similar in the
You think
past.
that's the real reason?
I think there's multiple reasons, yeah. I think financial, geopolitical,
Well, he said that.
ideological, evangelical. I don't care. My claim is that what he's doing is ethnic cleansing. Ethnic cleansing is a war crime according to the Fourth Geneva Convention.
Yeah.
It's against international law under the Rome Statute. So we shouldn't be part of that. The United States should not be supporting Donald Trump's plan.
I
Ethnic
agree.
cleansing.
I agree.
Good.
What do you think should be done instead with the Israel-Gaza situation? I'm not sure what
I
your
would
stance
like to
is
see
on
a
that.
ceasefire in
Ceasefire,
Gaza.
two-state
I would like to
solution,
see, I don't
take
really get into debates about what solutions. I would like to see an end to the killing. I would like to see Gazans have freedom. I would like to see the Palestinians in Gaza somehow get their land back. 80% of Gaza right now is under Israeli military control or displacement. I would like to see freedom of the Palestinian people. I'm an American. To go back to the core of this show, I support American values. One person, one vote.
It really is a religious and ethnic battle.
It's not a religious battle.
Well, yes,
No, it's
that
not.
is what
It's
obviously
a financial
Jews and
land
Muslims
battle.
control the Holy
No,
Land.
it's not.
Yes, it is. What else? What other?
Actually, the founders of Israel were secular. They were not religious, actually. I think some,
Nope.
some religious Jews, like Bezalel,
They're atheists.
who's
I
the
mean,
Israeli government minister,
it doesn't really
is a
matter.
religious
My point
status.
is, my
But
point
the
is,
core of the conflict is over land, it's colonial, it's historic.
Exactly.
It is
well,
not
yeah,
about
but
religion.
colonialism is for a reason.
The
Like,
people who
it's
want to
like
steal the
a-
land want everyone to believe it's
My point
religious.
is, why are we
I don't
sitting
have an
here?
objection
Why
to
are we sitting here? It's
Christianity.
like a false dichotomy where we have to argue, like, do Jews get Israel? Do Muslims get Israel? Why are like, we?
I've never brought up
how
anyone's
many
religion.
How many of
I
us
didn't bring
here?
up anyone's religion
How many
either.
of us here are Christians
I didn't bring up anyone's
trying to
religion.
pick sides between Jews and Muslims taking over Israel? Like, don't you think that?
Hold on. First of all, I didn't bring up religion. Second of all, you know that a lot of Palestinians are Christian, right?
Some of
You're
them,
just
yeah,
reducing
it's
it to
very
Muslim
small.
versus
Well,
Jews.
it's majority Muslim. Yeah, it's very.
But there are many
Yeah, I
Palestinians.
agree. Yeah, but there's not
So
that many.
so it's not worth
So
reducing
it
it
is.
to
Well,
religion.
it is. The reason why do you think Iran is backing proxies that want to take over Gaza and back the terrorists in Gaza? It's obviously because they want to Muslim control of the land. You don't think that's why?
No, I don't think it's about religion.
Is it-
I've been following this conflict for decades. It's not about religion. People who say it's about religion, it's a distraction.
Well, it's a big part of it. I think.
I think it's become a big part of it. It's been weaponized by bad faith actors, sure.
It's about land. It's about stealing land because land is the best thing that you can own on this planet. Land is wealth. Land is generational wealth. Land is a type of wealth that guarantees the safety of your grandchildren, you know? And in 1948, Britain offered the land of Palestine to Zionist Jews who probably couldn't give a crap about religion, but were willing to use it in order to get land because land is awesome. If you own a house, congratulations.
But I don't think that's the core. The core is that one group of people are dominating another group of people.
What group of
It is
people
apartheid.
is it? But what group of people is dominating another group of people?
One ethnic group is dominating
What
another
ethnic group? What ethnic group?
Jewish people.
Yes, dominating.
Arabs.
Yes.
But I didn't say like Christian, Muslim, Jew in a religious sense.
Okay,
Jews
well-
define religion and ethnicity, you know that, right?
Well, why do you think that Muslims want control of the
I don't
whole
think you
region?
keep saying
Why do you think
Muslims. I don't
why
bring
do
up
you think-
Muslims.
Well, they're Muslim states. Like, what do you think like Iran wants to do?
I don't bring up Iran.
But that's part of the conversation. What do you mean?
No, it's not. The conversation is Donald Trump is doing ethnic cleansing and you agree
Yeah,
with
but
me.
it's,
So I'm not sure why you're
but
still
it's
here,
part
to
of
be
the,
honest.
it's part of the larger
It's a
conversation.
weird debate when you actually
Facts.
What I was trying
Later.
Full of people that
Oh, fuck this guy. Sorry. Okay.
Go over to the Gaza thing in a second, but first off, I just wanted to touch
Looks up to Trump for his dress code. Lame, bro.
on that. You said that you support free speech, of course, right? So what I'm confused about is you refuse to debate people that have disagreed with you because you said that they're racist or they're fascist, right? No. If we're going to do facts, they said they were racist and fascist. Get your facts right before you start arguing. So isn't the whole entire point of the debate to debate people that you don't agree with? I don't debate people who don't see me, A, as equal, no point. Or B, support democracy because that would undermine the whole idea of the debate. If you don't support democracy, as our friend here doesn't, and support General Franco, then what is the point of the debate? The First Amendment doesn't mean you have to debate everyone. Somebody comes up to you in the street and starts talking to you. You don't have an obligation to carry on talking to them. I'm sure you go about your business. Somebody comes up to you in the subway and sits next to you and starts ranting in your face. So you're not going to start debating. So everyone here has hygiene standards, as do you. There are people you wouldn't debate, I'm sure, as well.
Okay.
So can you please describe why you think Trump is supporting ethnic cleansing of Gaza just because he wants to take over the land there? How does that? And not just take over the land. Kick out all the people. That is the definition of ethnic cleansing. So isn't ethnic cleansing killing people? Because it seems like you're... No, you can ethnic cleanse people without killing them. And by the way, they have been killed. More than 50,000 people in Gaza have been killed by the Israelis, by people like Bezalel Smotrich, who said recently, the Finance Minister of Israel, we are going to Gaza to conquer, cleanse, and remain. We're going to annihilate the place. We're going to disassemble Gaza, he said. We're going to leave it behind as piles of rubble. That's the guy Trump's funding, supporting. That's the guy praising Trump. So yes, Trump and Smotrich are ethnically cleansing Gaza.
I cannot deny that thousands of people are dying in Gaza, but you need to realize why they're dying. Is it possibly that they're...
This guy's stupid, but hey Gary, you there?
I'm here. How can I help you? Or is there something else on your mind?
Yeah, just for fun, can you ethnically cleanse a place without murdering them?
Ethnic cleansing typically refers to the forced removal of a particular ethnic group from a region, and it often involves violence and severe human rights violations. Even if it doesn't involve killing, it still causes immense suffering and is considered a grave violation of human rights. It's a serious and sensitive topic that should be approached with care and respect for those affected.
Yeah, you can literally deport people like they're doing in America.
attacking another country.
No,
just
the
because
people who are dying,
Israel
we're not
is
attacking another country.
Just because Israel is killing more Gazans than Gazans are killing Israel doesn't mean Gaza is righteous and Israel is evil.
I never said anything about evil or righteous.
Israel
I said
might be-
ethnic cleansing. You said don't have to be killed. I said they are being killed, and the criteria for what's happening to them. If Donald Trump says these people have to leave and never come back, is that not ethnic cleansing? What is your definition of ethnic cleansing?
I would think ethnic cleansing is when you're killing off a large part of an ethnic group.
That's
Just-
genocide.
Completely.
You're confusing your terms.
This guy's
Ethnic
stupid.
cleansing is removing one ethnic group.
You're dumb, buddy. We're not listening to this guy. Confused Iranian. Oh, I'd like to see. Oh, come on, not this guy again. Nope. Lame as shit. Okay. Okay, he took a lot of time. Might have been decent, but not super interested. This part. Let's hear this out.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. I thought it would be an interesting exercise in trying to understand what genuine far-right conservative folks think, and it was kind of disturbing to see that they think what I thought they think, and they were happy to say it out loud. I am disappointed that I had to sit across from people who believe in white genocide, who believe I'm not a citizen. Multiple people here said I should be deported. One of them was even the child of immigrants, which I found bizarre.
Obviously, we were way outclassed. Like, we're not professional debaters. I don't think any
Y'all
of
are
us
kids.
Maybe one or two people. And clearly, Mehdi does this for a living, right? He's a journalist, so he's really good at what he does.
Mehdi Hasan was pretty good at, taking cheap shots, trying to, derail people from their arguments, trying to, pit people.
Bro,
against
you
some
are a
people that
cartoon.
wouldn't like people that
Like,
don't like,
shut up.
Which is irrelevant.
I think one person said if he walked off, he'll be the first to go, which is ominous and racist.
I think that was disheartening and particularly discouraging because it just felt like it was fitting into a stereotype that we're trying to fight against, which is like we actually have arguments, we can provide good reason, and that rhetoric just pushes that far away.
I'm, I guess, a far-right Republican, but as I learned today, not as far as I thought I was. Someone gets up and they're just like, I guess I just want to
I like
have
this guy.
autocracy forever and Christian nationalism, or just being like, I'm racist. And to me, that's very foreign of a concept.
While I didn't, disagree with most of the people in the circle, it did bother me at times to see them saying things. There's not really a reason to do that. But it also upset me when Mehdi said, I'm not willing to debate with those people. Free speech doesn't mean you need to give credibility or oxygen or platform to people who don't agree in human equality.
I hear Mehdi's point about not giving them a platform, but the thing is, if you stop giving them a platform, they don't just go away and change their mind. And then you tell the rest of society, no one exists who thinks like that. And that's not true.
I do like to debate people, even people I disagree with. I try and avoid bad faith folks. I think some of the folks today were bad faith. I'm anti-conservative, right? I don't support conservative views on taxation. I don't support conservative views on immigration. But the people here today were way beyond conservative. This is open authoritarianism. And this is what is being normalized in mainstream in our country by people in power, by the media, by people who don't know any better.
That was honestly super interesting. What'd you guys think? I had fun. Did you learn anything? What'd you think of the guy who said, I'm a fascist? Yeah, there's some interesting people out there. All the brown people of those opinions, y'all are stupid. You're not on their team. They want you out. That's all I got to say, man. Peace.